At the company dinner, CEO Mr. Holden smiles at me across the white tablecloth. Crystal glasses sparkle under bright chandeliers. Everyone is laughing and celebrating another successful year. The food is amazing, the mood is perfect. Then Mr. Holden's voice cuts through the noise. "Did the holiday bonus help you out?" he asks loudly. The whole table turns to stare at me. Forks pause midair. Conversations stop completely. Freeze like a statue. My stomach drops like I'm on a roller coaster. What bonus? I never got any bonus. My mouth goes completely dry. I try to speak, but my voice comes out as a tiny whisper. "What bonus?" I ask, genuinely confused. Slowly, I turn my head toward my boss, manager Blake Rowan, sitting right next to me. His face drains of all color instantly. He looks like he just saw a ghost. His fork clatters onto his plate with a loud noise. For one terrible second, our eyes meet. I see pure panic flash across his face before he quickly looks away. Something is very, very wrong here. My heart starts pounding so hard I can actually hear it in my ears. Everyone is still staring at me, waiting for an answer I don't have. Nobody speaks. The silence is so heavy I can barely breathe. Blake clears his throat loudly and jumps in fast, way too fast. "There must be some kind of mistake," he says, forcing a laugh that sounds completely fake. He waves his hand dismissively. But the CEO frowns deeply. "I personally approved every single bonus," Mr. Holden says slowly. His eyes moving between Blake and me. Under the table, where nobody can see us, Blake suddenly kicks my leg hard. Sharp pain shoots up my shin. I bite my lip to keep from crying out. I pretend nothing happened, keeping my face calm even though I want to scream. When dinner finally ends, I stand up quickly, desperately wanting to escape. But Blake grabs my elbow firmly and pulls me toward the back hallway, far away from everyone else. His grip is tight enough to hurt. He drags me into a dark corner near the emergency exit. His eyes are cold and hard, nothing like the friendly boss I thought I knew. "You misunderstood everything," he hisses at me, his face inches from mine. His breath smells like wine and anger. "You're making things messy. Very messy." Each word feels like a threat hanging in the air. I pull my arm away and walk away as fast as I can. My hands tremble so badly I can barely unlock my car. I realize the horrible truth. He knows exactly what he did. And now he knows that I know something is wrong. The next morning I wake up early, completely unable to sleep. I open my laptop at the kitchen table and check my email history desperately, searching for anything about a holiday bonus. I scroll back weeks, then months. Nothing at all. Not a single email. My chest tightens with worry. I check my trash folder, my spam folder, every folder I have. Still nothing. With shaking fingers, I log into the company payroll system. I navigate to my payment history and stare at the screen in disbelief. My holiday bonus is clearly marked. Paid December 15th. The amount is listed. Everything looks official and processed. But I never received a single dollar. My bank account never showed any deposit. My hands start shaking so badly I have to set down my coffee mug. Someone stole my money. Someone changed the records to hide it. And the only person with access is Blake. He's the manager who approves payroll. He has administrator access to everything. Cold anger starts replacing my fear. At work I feel paranoid and alone. During lunch I approach Mara, a coworker I've always liked. When I mention the missing bonus, her face changes completely. She leans in close. "I've seen Blake pocket incentives before," she whispers. "But he always gets away with it. Be careful. Blake has friends in high places." That afternoon my phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. "Meet me in the parking garage. Level 3. I know the truth about the bonuses. Is this a trap?" Then another text. "It's Liam from accounting. Come alone. 10 minutes. Liam. A quiet junior accountant. Barely know him. But something tells me to trust this. I grab my jacket and head to the elevator. The parking garage is cold and dim. I walk to level 3, my footsteps echoing. Then I see him, a young man with glasses, looking terrified. When he sees me, he rushes forward, shoves a thick folder into my hands, and runs away without saying a word. I don't open it in the garage. I hurry to my car and lock the doors. Inside is an official company document. It shows exactly what happened to my bonus. The money was approved. It was processed. But then it was rerouted. Transferred to a private bank account linked directly to Blake Rowan. There it is. Proof. But there's more. A long list of employee names. 15, 20. All their bonuses vanished the same way over 3 years. Blake didn't just steal from me. He's been stealing from everyone year after year. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. My hands shake. How many families struggled because of him? This isn't just about me anymore. I drive to a quiet parking lot and sit alone. I should feel victorious. I have proof. But everything crashes down on me. The stress, the fear, the betrayal. I break down completely. Tears pour down my face. My whole body shakes with sobs. The missing bonus wasn't just money. My mother is sick. Really sick. The medicine she needs costs more than I can afford. I've been stretched so thin, living paycheck to paycheck, skipping meals to save money. That bonus was supposed to help her. It was supposed to be hope. And Blake stole it. He didn't just steal cash. He stole my mother's treatment. He stole my hope. Rage and hurt mixed together like a terrible storm. I cry until I have no tears left. But slowly, the sadness hardens into something stronger. Determination. Cold, fierce determination. When I return to work, Blake is standing at my desk, waiting. He's leaning against my cubicle wall, wearing a smile that makes my skin crawl. "Tough morning?" he asks casually. I mumble something about a doctor's appointment. He leans down close. "Delete anything you think you have," he whispers. "It's for your own good." Then he walks away whistling. My blood runs cold. He knows. But how? Someone betrayed me. The office suddenly feels dangerous. I can't trust anyone here anymore. That evening, Mara calls me crying. "I'm so sorry," she sobs. She mentioned my investigation to Sarah from HR, someone she thought she could trust. But Sarah went straight to Blake. Now he knows everything. "I didn't mean to," Mara cries. "I thought she would help." Close my eyes. I want to be angry, but I hear genuine pain in her voice. "It's okay," I tell her. "I don't blame you. But the situation is worse now. Blake is watching my every move." That night, barely sleeping, my phone buzzes. Another text from Liam. "There's camera footage. Security cameras caught something important. Blake shredding documents. Day the bonuses were issued. Meet me tomorrow. Early." The next morning, before most employees arrive, Liam and I meet in the security room. The room is small and dark, filled with monitors. Liam pulls up footage from December 15th. We see Blake enter a back office late at night and start feeding papers into a shredder. "Lots of papers. Those are the original bonus records," Liam whispers. "Before he changed them. This could ruin Blake." Liam copies the footage to a USB drive with shaking hands. As we leave, my blood turns to ice. At the end of the hallway stands Blake. He stares directly at us. Then anger twists his face. "Run," Liam whispers, shoving the USB into my hand. "Go." We split up. Liam runs left. I run right toward the emergency exit. Behind me, Blake shouts, "Stop, both of you." I slam through the emergency door, setting off a loud alarm. Keep running down the stairs. 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors. My lungs burn. When I burst into the parking garage, I sprint to my car, fumbling with my keys. I'm about to start my car when suddenly every light goes out. Complete darkness. Someone shut down the power. I hear footsteps echoing. Slow, deliberate footsteps getting closer. Blake. He's hunting me in the dark. I duck down in my seat. The USB drive is clutched in my fist. The footsteps get closer. They stop right near my car. I hold my breath. Through the window, I see a cell phone flashlight sweeping across the garage. Passes over my car. I squeeze my eyes shut. After forever, the footsteps move away. The lights flicker back on. I start my car and drive out as fast as possible. I keep checking my rearview mirror. I drive straight to Mara's apartment. When she opens her door and sees my face, she pulls me inside and locks everything. "What happened?" she asks. I collapse onto her couch and tell her everything. The security footage. Chase. Blake hunting me. She sits next to me, pale with shock. "We need to look at that drive," Mara says firmly. She gets her laptop and we plug in the USB. First, we watch the security footage of Blake shredding documents. Clear, damning evidence. But then Mara clicks on another folder. "Wait, there's more here," she says. We discover a second hidden folder Liam added. Inside are detailed financial records going back 3 years. Bank statements. Transfer receipts. Count numbers. Blake hasn't just been stealing bonuses. He's been funneling company money multiple ways. False expense reports. Fake vendor payments. Redirected client refunds. The total amount makes my head spin. Over $300,000. "He's been doing this for years," Mara whispers. "This is bigger than we thought. Blake has been running a sophisticated fraud operation. We decide to email everything directly to the CEO. We can't trust anyone else." I attach all the files and type a careful email to Mr. Holden's personal address. I hit send. Message failed to send. Error message. I try again. Same result. Mara tries. Same thing. Blake has placed restrictions on emails mentioning his name. He's blocking our messages. "He thought of everything," I whisper. Mara looks at me with determination. Then we go in person tomorrow. We walk into the CEO's office with the USB drive. He can't stop that. But I'm scared. Blake is always one step ahead. The next morning I'm called into an HR meeting. The email came at 8:47 a.m., marked urgent. "Serious concerns about your performance and conduct." My stomach drops. When I arrive at the conference room, Blake is sitting there, looking calm and professional. 2 HR representatives sit across from him. Nobody smiles. The HR manager, Ms. Fisher, starts speaking. "We have serious concerns. Reports indicate you've been accessing private systems without authorization. Security footage shows you in restricted areas. Your behavior has been erratic." My mouth falls open. Blake is flipping everything, making me look like the criminal. "That's not true," I say, my voice shaking. "I was investigating." "Investigating?" Blake interrupts smoothly. "Is that what you call breaking into security rooms? Harassing employees? Making wild accusations?" He shakes his head sadly like I'm a troubled employee he's worried about. Ms. Fisher continues. "We're considering immediate suspension pending investigation." My world is collapsing. Blake sits there smirking slightly. He won. He's going to destroy me and get away with everything. Ms. Fisher reaches for papers, probably my suspension notice, when there's a sudden knock on the door. Everyone looks up. The door opens and Claire, the CEO's assistant, steps inside. Her face is serious and professional. "Excuse me," she says firmly, "but Mr. Holden needs to see her immediately." She points directly at me. Ms. Fisher looks confused. "We're in the middle of a disciplinary meeting." "Now," Claire says firmly. "The CEO is waiting." Her eyes lock with mine. Something passes between us. Hope flickers in my chest. Blake's face goes slightly pale. I stand on shaky legs and follow Claire. As we walk toward the executive floor, she leans close and whispers, "I've been watching. I've been listening. I know more than you think." Claire leads me into Mr. Holden's large office. Floor-to-ceiling windows show the city below. The CEO sits behind his massive desk, his face serious. "Tell me exactly what's happening," Mr. Holden says. "Why were you in that disciplinary meeting? And why did you look so confused at dinner when I mentioned your bonus?" My voice cracks. "I never received my bonus, sir. Not a single dollar. And when I looked into it, I found proof that Blake Rowan stole it. And he stole from many others too. The CEO's eyebrows pull together. He looks at Claire, who nods. I saw Blake acting suspicious around accounts, Claire says quietly. Late nights. Secret meetings. When she came to me, pieces started connecting. Mr. Holden leans forward. Do you have proof of these accusations? My hand trembles as I reach into my bag and pull out the USB drive. Everything is on here, I say, handing it to him. Mr. Holden plugs the USB into his computer. The room falls completely silent except for the quiet clicks of his mouse. Claire moves closer to look at the screen. I sit frozen, barely breathing. Mr. Holden opens the first folder. The security footage starts playing. We all watch in silence as Blake enters the back office late at night and begins shredding papers. Lots of papers. The CEO's jaw tightens. Then he opens the financial records folder. He scrolls slowly through document after document. Bank statements showing transfers. Payroll records showing bonuses marked as paid but rerouted to Blake's private account. Expense reports that are clearly falsified. Client refunds that never reached clients. Years of systematic theft. 3 years of stolen money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mr. Holden's face goes from confused to shocked to absolutely furious. His face actually turns red with anger. The silence stretches on forever. Finally, he looks up at me. His eyes are hard and serious. Are you ready to make a formal statement? He asks quietly but firmly. Will you testify to everything you found? Everything you experienced? I don't hesitate. Not even for a second. Yes, sir, I say firmly. I'm ready. He nods once. Good. He picks up his phone. Get security up here. And call our legal team. I want Blake Rowan in this office in 5 minutes. Everything happens fast. Security escorts Blake to the CEO's office. Blake walks in looking confident, like he's been summoned for praise. But when he sees me sitting there and the USB drive on the desk, his face changes completely. The color drains away. Fear replaces confidence. Mr. Holden doesn't waste time. He plays the security footage right there. Blake watches himself shredding documents, and his hands start shaking. This isn't what it looks like, Blake stammers, his smooth voice finally cracking. You don't understand the full situation. I understand theft, Mr. Holden says coldly. I understand fraud. Security escorts Blake out of the building that same day. Employees stop working to watch as he's walked through the office with security guards on each side. Blake is in shock at first, his face blank. Then rage explodes. This is her fault, he screams, pointing at me. She ruined my life. She's lying about everything. People stare. Some look confused. Others look angry at Blake. Security keeps walking him toward the exit. A formal investigation begins immediately. The company hires external investigators and forensic accountants. They dig into every account Blake ever touched. And they discover even more damage than anyone expected. Fake vendors. Redirected payments. Altered contracts. The theft goes deeper and wider than anyone imagined. Blake hurt so many people for so long. The evidence is overwhelming and undeniable. Word spreads through the company like wildfire. Within hours, everyone knows what Blake did. My desk becomes a gathering place. Employees I barely know start coming up to me, some hesitantly, others boldly. They share their own stories in quiet, emotional voices. My bonus was wrong last year. I thought it was just a mistake. My raise was smaller than promised. HR said it was budget cuts. My performance review was altered. I saw it happen but couldn't prove it. My commission check never came through properly. So many people. So many stories. Some employees cry openly as they talk. Others look angry, their faces red with rage at being deceived. A few hug me, thanking me for being brave enough to speak up. I realize Blake didn't just hurt me. He hurt dozens of people. Maybe more. Families struggled because of him. Dreams were crushed. Bills went unpaid. Medical treatments were delayed. Also, Blake could buy expensive suits and fancy cars and vacation homes. Also, he could live a life of luxury built on stolen money. The weight of it is overwhelming. But it's also empowering. I didn't just fight for myself. I fought for all of them. Every person Blake ever hurt. Every family he damaged. Every dream he stole. This wasn't just about one missing bonus. This was about justice. Real justice for real people. A week later, Mr. Holden calls an all-company meeting in the main conference hall. Everyone attends. The room is packed with employees sitting in chairs, standing along the walls, filling every available space. The CEO walks to the front and the room goes silent. "I want to address what happened with Blake Rowan," he begins, his voice strong and clear. "What he did was theft. Plain and simple. He betrayed your trust. He betrayed this company." He pauses, looking around the room. "Every stolen bonus will be repaid, with interest. Every altered raise will be corrected. We're conducting a complete audit to find every person he hurt." The room erupts in applause. People cheer. Some cry with relief. Then Mr. Holden looks directly at me. "I'm creating a new internal committee for employee fairness and transparency. A place where people can report concerns safely without fear of retaliation." He gestures for me to stand. My legs feel weak, but I stand up. "And I want this brave employee to lead that committee." The room explodes with applause again. People stand up. Some whistle and cheer. I feel tears running down my face. Later, I learn that Blake is facing serious criminal charges. Fraud. Embezzlement. The evidence is overwhelming. He'll likely go to prison for years. His fancy life is over completely. The company he hurt will rebuild stronger. The people he stole from will be made whole. Weeks later, the company holds another fancy dinner at the same restaurant. Same white tablecloths. Same crystal glasses. Same beautiful chandeliers. But everything feels completely different now. I sit at a table surrounded by friends. Real friends. Mara sits next to me, smiling warmly. Liam sits across from us, no longer looking scared or nervous. Claire is there too, nodding at me with respect and kindness. When dessert arrives, Mr. Holden stands up at the head table. The room goes completely quiet. He looks directly at me and smiles genuinely, warmly. "I want to thank someone special tonight," he says, his voice carrying clearly across the entire room. Someone who had every reason to stay quiet and look the other way. Someone who risked absolutely everything to speak truth to power. Someone who reminded us all what real courage looks like in the face of fear. He raises his glass high. "Thank you for speaking up when nobody else would. Thank you for fighting for justice." The entire room raises their glasses toward me. People applaud loudly and genuinely. I look around the table, and this time I'm not scared or confused. This time I'm not alone or helpless. I'm surrounded by people who stood with me, who believed me, who helped me fight. I survived the fear that tried to silence me. I fought back against someone more powerful and won. Not just for myself but for everyone Blake ever hurt. For justice itself. I raise my glass and smile back at everyone. This is what winning feels like. This is what justice feels like. And it feels absolutely amazing.